This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Hello and welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Merrifield. I'm joined by my good buddy, Mike Regalado from Bruin Report Online.
What's up, y'all?
Hey, Mike. Mike.
Aw, Chip. Aw.
It's What's Bruin Show. What's Bruin Show Network. I know we got an email. We got a Twitter feed. We got a hotline. We got stuff.
Jake is tired. I feel him too. It's like, this weekend sucked. It drained the life. I had to cut off this mop just because the hair.
Oh yeah.
Was it felt like I had like a baby raccoon just resting on me and didn't want to move. I'm like, so no, chopping it off.
I was in Marina Del Rey and it was warm, but still cooler in the valley on Saturday. And then I was in Irwindale, I guess, or over by the Santa Fe Dam Renaissance Fair on Sunday, and it was warm. It wasn't as warm as it was on Saturday, but it was still warm. So yeah, it was a lot of heat over the weekend. Yeah, but we survived.
Yeah, but this is nice and breezy out here. Yeah, that won't last though. But
it won't last. It's the last gasp of the temperate valley.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's about to get super warm. But yeah, but welcome to the show. What's Bruin Show? Yeah, look in the show notes. You want to know how to get a hold of us? I guess there's a hotline or something. 805-399-4
WBS. Look at Raina Troy.
Mike,
womp, womp, womp.
yeah, exactly. Hey, I just got Michael Castillo's going to do jury service, and I'm switched to closer to his house.
Nice.
Because I love him. So
nice.
Yeah, good for him. Now he doesn't have to go downtown.
Oh, was he part of the Menendez trial?
No, that just finished today, though. And
okay,
yeah, but he's not. No,
that would have been cool if he was.
It would have been.
Hey, Michael, take some pictures.
Yeah, exactly. But the trial actually wasn't. Was like 40 years ago. This was just a hearing. But yes,
resentencing. That technically, that's what it. Yeah,
and they. But yeah, so it's
local LA news for you all.
Lots of reports. I took a great picture of Futterman today. It was wonderful. Sent it to Jim.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah,
nice.
You saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho, yeah. So Mike, what are we doing here? What do we got to talk about? Anything to talk about?
UCLA, bro. Well, for the first time in a long time, we have some headlines, real quick headlines.
Mike is enthusiastic, so let's take advantage of that.
I don't know why.
On our bro-affiliated headlines, let's go.
There we go. Well, just really quickly, 3 quick headlines, and they all have to do with...
Mike Regalado.
Yes, me. Not me. They don't have to do with me. I'm the one announcing it. I am the messenger. But this has to do with transfers into the football and men's basketball team. Over the weekend, I believe it was, we got a transfer long snapper in Moreau Evans. Transfer from Ohio State.
Nice.
When he out of high school, he was number 2 ranked long snapper in the nation. So that's a good plus. We always talk about special teams. Special teams doesn't get enough talk, and we do. We talk about how it is a definitive third part of the football game.
And our field goal kicker still is awesome, right?
Oh, yeah. Bagani?
Oh,
and your drop isn't working. This is not the time.
This sucks.
This is not the time to get flaccid, iPad.
I know.
Terrible. Today, it was announced that quarterback Pierce Clarkson, who was at Louisville, enrolled in Louisville in 2023, who transferred to Ole Miss in January, has now transferred to UCLA.
Go Bruins.
Son of Steve Clarkson. He adds a little bit more depth to UCLA's quarterback depth chart after everybody left when the Iamaleavas came in here. Although not everybody left, we still have Luke Duncan, so there's that. He's been with the program the longest, so you definitely need someone who has a little bit of experience, even though it was jaded Fredo experience last year under Bieniemy. Still,
he sucked.
So we have Luke Duncan. This new kid, why am I blanking on it? Pierce Clarkson and the Iamaleavas. And yes, over the weekend, it was made official because he finished his classes at Arkansas. But Madden Iamaleava is officially a Bruin. So now both brothers are in.
Go Bruins!
They are Bruin, baby.
We like that. And then Mike, what's our field goal kicker's name?
Where did he go? Bagani, Mati Bagani.
That doesn't work. God damn it. All right, we got to work.
Okay, we'll go. We're going to do some off-season tinkering with the show and
maybe
getting stuff.
We'll see.
I'm thinking about doing some different drops because we need to freshen it up. Haven't done it in a while, but still, the people like it. That's what we're here for. Lastly, men's basketball signs Anthony Peoples Jr., a transfer from North Carolina Central, as a backup at the forward spot. Low post, in the low post generally.
That's cool.
Didn't play much last year, only 5 points, 2.4 rebounds per game. Only had, I believe, 97 minutes of playing time. So hopefully he gets a little bit more. Very athletic kid that can definitely, but he will back Booker. And you know what? We were wrong last week. It's not Jameson. It's not Booker and Jameson. It's Jay Merson.
Damn it.
But I think we can still fit that in.
I think we will.
We should get sponsorships on behalf of him. We should get NIL deals because of him.
I agree with
Not for him. Redirect that stuff over this way.
Good idea, Mike.
Yeah, so teams are definitely not done signing players. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting because what we know right now is absolutely nothing. And we won't know anything even at the start of fall. We will see what is going on with the UCLA football team on game 1.
Because we know right now, Mike?
Yeah. We know nothing. We know crickets.
That one works.
Yeah, exactly. So,
right.
So those are the mini headlines here.
That's good. But what's our field goal kicker's name?
Matia Bagani.
Nope, still doesn't work.
Still
damn it. I really got to figure this out.
We got technical difficulties, people.
Oh,
there we go.
It kind of was there.
About time.
Let's try again. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like it.
Damn it.
Doesn't like it. All right, well, let's close with the Brookfield headlines.
Okay.
Work in progress. It really is a shame as, like the board is a modern board. It's Rodecaster 2. It's wonderful. State of the art, right? And it's got cool things. It came built in with some sounds, like the crickets and the applause and that. But all the old stuff that we used to do is all on this board, this iPad from I don't know, 2000. The iPad's probably from 2013.
Yeah.
The software's probably from 2013.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't updated. So I don't know.
I don't know when I got my iPad, but what was it? The end of last year, it was just starting. It was getting full with storage, and a good third of it was data usage, whatever the hell that is. I guess like cache stuff and extra memory. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a computer guy. So I'm like, you know what? I didn't really have a lot of stuff on there that I wanted. So I just restarted it, factory settings, logged back in because it was still attached to my account. And I swear to God, it was like there was so much room cleared up, and I hadn't updated it in a while because there was so much room on it. I swear to God, it was like having a brand new iPad. It was awesome. So much iPad, iMovie was on there, which were on it, but I just wouldn't be able to use it. I was using it for other things like photography, photo editing, and different stuff for Bruin Report. That was the main thing I would use it for.
Yeah, I think this one.
But yeah, this is like having a brand new freaking iPad.
This one's so old that there's just not things that we'll update with. But Mike, what's the name of the field goal kicker?
Mateen Bagani.
Let's try. No, it's just not there. All right. Oh well. Work in progress.
Yeah.
So, anywho, Mike, what do you want to talk about then? I guess you want to do calls first. Let's do football.
Blue 32, Blue 32, California, hood, hey! Football.
So, practice is over. We got the MLA coming, and
in the words of the
long
great
off season.
In the words of the great ska punk band Operation Ivy, all we know is that we don't know nothing.
That's
Although
right.
that doesn't make any sense if we don't know anything.
No, I know, but
still
they're punks. They can go with the double negatives.
Hey, they're more punk than us. So,
and
that drop isn't working either.
No, I won't try because it's on this board. The What's Bruin Show
is more punk than you.
There it is.
That's modern technology right there.
Hells yeah.
That. Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna look at the schedule today because you walked in here saying, "Hey, now they got this cool quarterback guy." It probably raised the ceiling on the program a little bit, and I agree with you, Mike. But then actually looking at what the schedule is, I think Bill picked us to have 2 wins again, like he always does. He's a dick. But you and I are always tending more towards being optimistic. But even optimistically looking at this team in January,
Yeah.
I think we both were like, okay, yeah, it's probably set at 6 at the absolute max. Like
60s. I think
they can get to maybe get a bowl, maybe. And I was worried about it, because of the defense and everything they lost and all the new players and all that stuff. And it certainly still could be, a disaster of a season.
Yeah.
Considering that there's still so many guys have changed. But I think the way it's gone with the transfer portal the last month or so has made us all a little more optimistic. And obviously getting a quarterback from Tennessee that was a 5-star guy and that played SEC ball is going to probably make most people a little more optimistic. So with that said, Mike, I'm going to go through the schedule. We're going to just give our first take on picking these games and see where we land on what we think the ceiling is for this team at this point. And then, neither of us are going to pick them to a floor, but you figure out what your kind of 50-50 games are and what, where you think the floor could be on this one too. Like if all the 50-50s went out the window. So you have the schedule in front of you, Mike?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we're going to go through it and you can play along at home. We'll just pick whether we think it's going to win or a loss and whether or not we're really confident in that pick or just like, God knows it's a 50-50. And then that'll kind of give us an idea of what the ceiling and the floor is, right? Okay, very good. Mike, August 30th, Saturday, they host the Utah Utes. What is a Ute indeed?
Did you say Ute? What is a Ute?
Yeah, the Utes. So, Mikey, Cam Rising's finally retired. I don't really know.
Yeah,
I haven't
that
looked
sucks.
into exactly what Utah has got coming back at this point. But what is your ballpark on the UCLA versus Utah game at the Rose Bowl, where, in the Pac-12 history, it was just likely UCLA played a tough game and barely beat, some undermanned Utah team that had like their quarterback and running backs hurt, or it was like a 72-0 blowout, embarrassingly, to those darn Mormons.
Yeah, it was.
So
This was
where are
basically
you at with that one?
This was basically Rice Eccles Stadium self, for many years, but they just kind of underperform. I mean, like they get there, they get to the Rose Bowl, and they just don't do it. But even still, last year seemed a little underwhelming, probably because Rising was injured again. But yeah, I just see that UCLA could have, if they have an explosive enough offense, they can get through whatever concoction Utah has coming out of their spring with the remaining players and the transfers that they have. But I don't think Utah is as big of a powerhouse as they have been the last few years. So I'm going to give that a W for UCLA.
Oh, that's good. Let's give that a go, Bruins.
Go Bruins.
What about you?
I think about this and I'm like, I would like Deshaun Foster to start very strong on this season.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
And get a win. So I'm going to say that they're going to win that. But so Mike, what's your confidence level in that? Is that a 50-50 game or do you think like confidently UCLA is going to win that game?
No, I would put UCLA up at like 65-70%.
Yeah, I'm definitely a coin flip on that game. So I'm hoping for a good start. I'm hoping for a big debut. I'm hoping for like a Brett Hundley-like debut for Maleva. But by no means is that guaranteed. Could I see Utah coming in and giving the Bruins a hard time? Absolutely I could. So the season starts with a coin flip, but we're 1-0, both of us. So let's go. Go Bruins. Next game at UNLV. Mike, are you going to go to this game?
We'll see. If not, that's the same night that Oasis plays at
Oh,
the Rose Bowl.
that's right.
So it just depends. I probably won't know until, which is bad timing for a concert of that caliber. But yeah, I probably won't know until August if I'm going to that game or not.
I was going to say that. Oh, no. Well, actually, put your pick first.
Oh, my pick? Weirdly enough, just because UNLV has been kind of sneaky good lately, and this is a road game, UCLA is not going to be perfect. And they are going to have 50-50 games. And I think that this one will definitely be a 50-50 game. One to which they might lose, actually. That's my opinion.
So you're picking them to lose or you're picking them to win?
To lose.
Oh, my God,
No,
Mike.
50-50. I'm sorry, I'm picking them 50-50. Leaning towards losing.
Well, yeah. Don't pick it 50-50. Pick win or loss. That's
Oh.
going to be your ceiling. But then we're like,
What could be 50-50?
Like pick a game.
Okay, I'm gonna give this one a loss.
The game I think is going to go, and then at the end we're going to go through and look at like what our variance is.
Okay, cool.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
God help me if UCLA loses in that stupid, not stupid,
After beating Utah
in Allegiant Stadium. If they beat Utah, they're beating UNLV. I'm more bullish on this one. I think they're going to beat UNLV, and I think it's a solid win. So I'm going to say that's a WW. And I'm also hoping that I will be there, because normally I wouldn't be there because on one of my daughter's birthdays, Molly, but she's going to be in Thailand until the next day.
Oh,
so I
damn.
could go to this game.
Yeah.
And I do plan on going to this game.
All right.
And then coming back on Saturday and then picking her up from the airport. So that should be one that they better goddamn win, because I'm going to go, and I don't want to go to Vegas.
I just think it's still it's early season. They're still going to be figuring stuff out. That's why I go with the L.
Mike, I totally get I buy your argument. Hope springs eternal. So then they are back at the Rose Bowl and on September 13th, and they're hosting New Mexico. I guess I'm going to have the Bruins starting 3-0, Mike.
Nice.
Because if I haven't beaten the first two, I'm going to have them lose the friggin' Aggies.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it the Aggies or is it the
Lobos?
Yeah, the Lobos. Forget that.
Aggies are New Mexico State.
Yeah, so I'm picking a win for that one, Mikey. Where are you?
That's going to be a win as well. Yeah, New Mexico is just not good.
So already your boy is predicting them to be undefeated in the non-con.
Nice.
And Mike's got them 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a good start for Deshaun Foster. Next, they have a bye week after that. Bye week for our birthdays, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, I guess yours is.
What's the date on this one? The
this
4th. Oh yeah. So this is just
they
after
have the
my
20th
birthday.
off. Yeah, it's just after your birthday. So now there's 27th. They're at Northwestern in the little fake stadium. All the seats are in the end zones. Originally eyeballing this, we were all going to go, but even the Godfather's not going to this one because he does not want to sit in the temporary stadium. So they're at Northwestern opening the Big Ten schedule, Mike. How do you think they're going to open the Big Ten schedule versus the Wildcats of Northwestern? Purple Haze.
Northwestern's not that great. And I think after 3 games, they will find themselves. And this is a good team to kind of take out their grievances.
School year's going to start right then.
Yeah.
Right? But they won't have anything on their plate at that point.
Yeah. But it's away. I mean,
and it's away.
They're not going to have students. Not a lot of UCLA students there. So I'm going to go with a win.
Okay. I think I'm going to agree with you, Mike. And are you 50-50 on that one, or how confident are you on that?
No, that's a good win. That's a win.
Yeah, I think I'm the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then.
That would be fun to go to that stadium. I remember watching one game there. I think it was a cat that ran on the field, and yeah, it was just kind of like hanging around, just wanting to watch the game. People were trying to catch it, and it was running under stands and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, this is really a makeshift stadium where a small cat can just wander in and out at their leisure. But that would be a fun game to go to, just because it's Chicago. It's north of Chicago, but not by that much. I would definitely love to go to that one, but we'll see.
Well, I will say this. Just looking at the schedule, how it opens up, Utah, UNLV, New Mexico, then Northwestern. Both of us are thinking the Bruins are going to start well, at least, 3-1-ish, 4-0-ish. This is in stark contrast to last year where, they had Hawaii, Indiana. We thought maybe they could start 2-0, did not knowing how good Indiana was going to be. That turned out not to be. But then they had the murderer's row of LSU, Oregon, Penn State after that.
Yeah.
So there's not as much of a guaranteed tough opening for the Bruins. If they are pretty good, they will be able to have a record that's pretty good, it looks like, coming out of the first third of the season. So then it ratchets up a little bit. A lot of some road games here. But first they host Penn State at the Rose Bowl. Penn State solidly in the top 10, I think, this year.
They were a playoff game team.
Well, they were this. No, I mean, I'm saying for this upcoming
upcoming?
season, like, I think they're, whatever they're ranked. But this is certainly not one that we're going to pick to be a win. I don't think either one of us, Mike, but I'm not going to put words in your mouth. But I'll say that's probably going to be a loss.
Yeah,
And
I think,
I'm writing it in as a loss in stone.
We were excited last year when we reviewed this game because Oh yeah. Guess what? Get in ESPN's way too early top 25. Where do you think Penn State lands?
Like 4.
First.
Oh, there you go. Okay. That's a loss.
Yeah, I remember we were like, hey, they played good at Penn State in the first half and then just nothing the second half. And I'm sure they'll play better this year, but yeah, no, they have Drew Allar coming back. He's a seasoned quarterback. He knows what the hell to do with this Penn State team. So yeah, that's going to be a loss.
Yeah, I don't think, and that's on October 4th. So, all right, now it starts to get a little difficult. Then you have October 11th. They're going to go to Sparty at Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Godfather's going to this game, as a matter of fact. I don't think I will because I'm probably going to go to UNLV, and I might go to Ohio
A lot
State.
of games.
I'm not sure.
Games.
I might go to the Horseshoe. But how do you think they're do against Old Sparty? Jonathan Smith.
That's tough. They were not great last year. What were they? I can't even remember what they were in the.
They were not very good.
Yeah, they were like a
underachieved.
middle of the road team, right?
Yeah, definitely underachieved.
I'm going to go 50%. 50-50.
Win or loss, though.
Loss.
Okay, and I'm going to go win 50%. So there you go. So that's a 50-50 game for me. And I think they're going to. I just think they'll be a better team than Michigan State for whatever reason. That's one where I'm
because all we know is that we don't know nothing.
That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so then you got Maryland, October 18th, and how are you feeling about hosting the Terps?
That's going to be interesting because Justin Martin, former Bruin, is expected to be the starting quarterback.
Interesting.
But I was going to tell you this earlier in the show. CBS Sports, I think it was CBS Sports, did a ranking of the top quarterbacks in the Big Ten, and Iamaleava was number 7, I believe. Justin Martin was 18 at an 18. Yeah, Michigan, just because he's unproven, hasn't played a lot.
Yeah.
And Maryland, they've not great. So I think this one's at Maryland, right? Oh, no, hosting. You said no. That's going to be a win. Not even 50-50. That's going to be a win.
You go, Mike, with authority.
Mm-hmm. Two-hand dunk on that one, baby. What about you?
Yeah, I think I'll put down a win, but I still think it's a coin flip game, just like a lot of these were in the middle of the season with the Bruins. Things work out, then I think they have a good chance to win it. Things don't, then I don't know. It's still going to be tough. I don't think Maryland's like a terrible team or anything, so it's probably kind of the same way I feel about Washington and Wisconsin, actually. But I will pick a win there. Actually, I don't play Wisconsin, so there we go. Okay, well, after that Maryland game on October 25th, they go to Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
At Indiana. We don't know how good that team's going to be again this year, but you got to have some faith in how that coach turned it around. And the Bruins are still smarting from the ass kicking they got at the Rose Bowl early in 2024. Mikey, how are you feeling about going on the road?
That's a loss. I just think Cignetti is doing a freaking fantastic job, and even though he kind of got smoked in the playoff game, he has that experience, he has that chutzpah, and he's just a flat out really good coach that turned that team around in one season. And with this being at Indiana and with a Cincinnati kind of homecoming, I think they're going to want to show UCLA exactly what they're made of and that they can still beat up on them. I want to call this a 50-50, but I think just being at home at Indiana, this is just going to be a outright loss.
I think that's totally fair take. I'm going to put it down as a loss with a 50-50 on it for my end. It's because I want to see Cincinnati going there and being motivated. I want to see the Bruins playing well and walking in there. And I do think that Indiana's in a spot where they were terrific last year because of all the transfers they got in, but they did lose some guys and they got to figure some stuff out too. So there's a chance that they don't reset how they did. They're not able to duplicate what they did in 2024. But I'm tending towards a loss, but I'm not super sure of it. Then they host the Cornhuskers of Nebraska. Mike, how do you feel about that one?
Well, Nebraska was kind of underwhelming last year too, and I think with this one being at the Rose Bowl, that's going to be a win for UCLA. 50-50. No, I don't think it's 50-50. I think it'll be an outright win. At that point, I think UCLA is just going to be in like fifth gear, and with their offense, and I think the defense at that point is going to be pretty well in midseason form, and having hopefully more people with the Iamaliavas bringing in eyeballs to the Rose Bowl. That's just going to be a big advantage for UCLA as well. So that's going to be a win for me.
All right, and I just kind of feel the same way about this as I do about the last 3-4 games. I really have no idea.
Against Nebraska or the last 3 or 4 games in the season?
In the season, Michigan State,
Okay.
Michigan State, the Maryland, Indiana, Nebraska. I just feel that stretch is all 50-50 for me.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, if they're playing well, it could go really well. If they're playing bad, it could go really bad. And if they're just kind of middling, like the rest of these teams are middling, then, it's one of those win some, you lose some. So I'm going to peg this one as a loss because I picked the other, basically I'm thinking 2-2 out of this stretch is where I got them.
Mhm.
And really for not a whole lot of reasons other than it was kind of like last year when they went through that stretch where they could have won. They probably should have beaten Minnesota. They beat Rutgers, Nebraska, Iowa. They probably, could have beat Washington, but all of them were just like kind of coin flippy sort of games, and they managed to win some and lose some. So that's kind of where I'm at with that particular game. So then the last quarter of the season, you have at Ohio State hosting Washington at SC. Like they're losing at the Horseshoe, I'm imagining.
Oh, yeah. And at least they don't have to do it to a Chip Kelly team. So there's that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that is good. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we don't have to listen to those stupid storylines.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot to say there. They're going to the Horseshoe. Maybe you'll go. I think I'll go. I don't know how many, it's obviously one of those cool trips to make in college football. I went to LSU last year because that's one of the cool trips to make in college football.
Yeah.
And I've been to Columbus before. It's a wonderful city. I've never been there for a football game. I've been in the Horseshoe before. I've never been there for a football game.
Where'd you go for?
We were there for a Grizzlies game, and
That's right.
we
that's
walked
right,
onto campus, and the guy gave us a little tour of the stadium. It was pretty fun.
Oh, brilliant. Nice.
So, yeah, it was cool. So, yeah, that's a loss. Not much more to say about that.
Yeah.
So then on the 22nd of November, they host the Dogs at the Rose Bowl, heading out towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think they're going to do against the old Washington Huskies?
Down with the fish.
Oh, yeah.
And I should actually be careful what I say because I don't want to offend those fans of Jed the Fish, the proper one, who unfortunately passed away. Longtime K-Rock DJ, passed away a few weeks ago. And it was very mournful to see all the old DJs on K-Rock rally around that and, talk about their time with them. But that's not the Jed the Fish I'm talking about.
That's why we always called this Jed
Yes.
Jed the Fish as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's known for this awesome quote, which may or may not work.
To do it with a former NFL head coach and the winningest coach in UCLA football over a 5-year span, and then to do it with a quarterback like Josh seemed like a perfect fit.
Talking about Jim Mora, and I always love that.
Mhm.
The winningest coach over a 5-year span.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, when we love him more. Anyways,
We always look for the highlights and stats.
the boxing as
Yeah.
much as we can.
But I didn't see a lot from them last year, and with this being at the Rose Bowl, I think this will be a win. I think UCLA should be able to go up against the former national champion contenders. But yeah, a lot of things changed in 1 year for that team. So they are definitely not that team, and I think that team is going to stick around for UCLA to pummel on them at the Rose Bowl.
And it's a 50-50 game for me that I'm tending towards them winning. But kind of for this, same reason I picked them to be 50-50 in all the rest of these games that are not Ohio State and not Penn State.
Mhm.
I think they got a shot, but we'll see. And then last but not least, November 29th, we're playing at USC at the Mausoleum. The last time we were there was DTR hurdling over. No, he wasn't. He hurdled over the guy and signed the Trojan kid's autograph at the Rose Bowl.
That would
right?
have been 4 years ago.
And then the
That's
next
3
year,
years ago. 3 years
then
ago.
the next year they was at the Mausoleum,
Yeah.
and that's when DTR had a chance to win the game,
Wait.
and then threw the pick.
No. He hurdled them 3 years ago. Then the next year, he threw the pick with a chance to win at the Rose Bowl. And then last year, they were at...
No, last year they're at the Rose Bowl and they lost. We were all there, and it was terrible. It was horrible.
But
the
that
year
wasn't
before
that wasn't the DTR
was
game.
last year was not the DTR game.
No.
The year before was the DTR game that they had a chance to win. Oh no, 38-20. They won that game 30-20. Oh, they smoked them.
Yeah, which game was
You're right.
that? Who was the quarterback? Oh, because it was the Garbers, Dante Moore.
Oh,
Garbers went off on that game. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
That's
Garbers
right.
Garbers won that game 2 years after DTR did his famous hurdle and signing of the hat. Yes,
And so that happened at the Mausoleum.
yes,
So they've won
2 in a
at the
row.
Mausoleum twice.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they going to make it 3?
yes.
All right, Mike. I like that. Go
Because Lincoln Riley, for all the money they threw at
Go
them and all
Bruins.
the 5 4-stars that he gets, is
I'm happy that UCLA won.
insanely underperforming. This is going to be, just for rivalry's sake, I'll say 50-50, but this is a win. It's a win for me.
Yeah, it's a win for me too. And I'm just sticking it solidly in with the rest of my 50-50 picks, honestly. That's where I'm like, the season is big 50-50 for me, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go win there too, just because, Mike, you inspired me.
Right?
And now thinking that they have a chance to win 3 in a row at the Coliseum. Even though I lost last year at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, we got to pump that up. We're going to make sure we tell the people when we get to that game week.
Yeah.
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
3 in a row. They can do it. Yeah.
Let's do it. So, with that being said, let's tally this up and see, where we land.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mikey, you picked them to have a record of what?
8-4.
8-4. Go
Mhm.
Bruins.
Go Bruins.
Guess what? I had them going
Go Bruins.
8-4 as well. Because
Okay, nice.
I'm happy that UCLA wins.
I'm happy that UCLA won.
I'm rooting for UCLA.
I was actively rooting for UCLA today, and it makes me feel dirty.
I like UCLA to win it.
I like UCLA to win the game.
And I would we take 8-4 in a heartbeat with this?
Oh,
team
hell
this
yeah.
season? Oh yeah, that would
After
be
last
amazing.
year.
It'd be quite a story.
That's a
It'd
bowl
be,
game.
It'd be a resurgence. It'd be wonderful, right? Now,
That's not only a bowl game, that's a post-Christmas bowl game right there.
absolutely. And as you could tell, listening to us, even though this is probably my least enthusiastic show I've done in years. I don't know why. I'm just very low key today.
Very
but
lethargic, Jake. What's going on?
I don't know. Maybe I need to take some medicine. Oh gosh, even my boner spring won't work. Oh,
Wow.
geez. See, it's even low powered there. I've lost my mojo. Where's Fenley? See, Fenley's lost his mojo.
Literally.
Lost my mojo.
Yeah. The 8-4s are certainly coming to you with a little bit of, Mike and Jake's Bruin
Fine.
boners a little bit.
Sure, why not?
Definitely. But the next point I want to make is how confident are we in these picks? I think Mike is a little more confident in the Bruins this year than I am, because if you go through and you say, okay, well, we have our 50-50 games lined up, what's the variance? Set in stone, Mike, how many games are you like confidently? What would the Bruins record be if you just took the games that they are confidently winning by
That
your
are-
account,
that are
or confidently
non-50
losing?
Non-50-50.
Yeah, what's the record that you have there?
6-3. So I have
So Mike
basically-
is like working from a base of they're going to a bowl game. Mike is
Yes.
confident
Yes.
the Bruins are going to a bowl game. And dude, I love you for that. And I'm happy. And I say,
Go Bruins!
go Bruins. Let's do it. UCLA, fight.
Mhm.
Cheers, all those things.
Yeah.
Like let's go.
Yeah. So that basically means that I have 3 50-50 games.
Yeah.
Which is weird because in the games that I think they'll lose, I think they're going to get smoked. And in the games they'll win, they should win handily.
So
Again-
Mike's floor,
Again,
Is
all I
6 and
know is
6.
that I don't know nothing.
Mike's floor then is 6-6. So Mike's floor is that the
Yes.
Bruins are going bowling, which is fantastic.
Mhm.
I love it. That's great. His ceiling is what, Mike?
9-3.
9-3.
Which surprised me a little. I was like, they better do it. Like 9-3, that would be thrilling, I believe, for the fan base. 6-6, that would be doable because they weren't even 6-6 last year. But they get to 9-3. Damn.
I think even if they get to 6-6, it's still a nice story, although underwhelming considering the buzz they generated by getting Yamalev in there. But that's probably the minimum record they can have while still maintaining some sort of positive vibe. Would be 6. And then you're right. If they get to 9, then they've wildly outdone expectations. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. And then obviously, Nico's probably leaving, but whatever. And we'll see what happens after that. But maybe they all are, the way he's, Foster's managing the program, it might be, might be able to solidly say it's on the right tack. I am much less confident than you, Mike. And I have them with a kind of, my base of a record is only 3-2. There's only 5 games on the schedule.
Oh,
I'm like,
wow.
I feel very confident about it.
Okay.
And so there's 7 games variance there.
Oh,
What I think
damn.
could go crazy, right? Could go haywire.
Mm.
So you were like, oh, wow, I have a wide margin. My spread being, oh, they could be as bad as 6 or as good as 9, and I'm
Yeah.
picking them 8. I'm picking them 8 too. which is very optimistic. Once again, our Bruin boners. But if I'm at my most optimistic and they win all the 50-50 games I see, I got the Bruins at 10-2. Wouldn't that be amazing?
That'd
be like, oh my God, where'd my horns go? Do I think you're going 10-2? Not even a little bit. But that's because of the 50-50 games, how it could be. But then on the flip side of that, my floor for this team, 3-9. Like it could be a disaster again, and all of a sudden we're left sitting there going, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah.
The first 2 years of Chip Kelly.
Nice guys.
Oh my God, what happened? So
your range is 3 to 10 wins?
Yeah. And I'm picking them at 8.
Nice.
So that's where we're at with the schedule.
Statistics, baby.
Yeah, I guess. Our blind guesses.
What are your outliers?
So we'll see. I wonder how you guys all think they're going to be doing on the schedule. But certainly, no doubt about it, were your picks, Mike, affected by the fact that they got in Nico Iamaleava?
Oh, hells yeah. I don't think.
Mine too.
I think if they had Joey, my ceiling would probably be 6-6. 7-5.
I think my ceiling would have been 7-5 as well.
Yeah.
So that's just the potential of, hey, you got a new offensive coordinator that's actually running a real offense. You got a quarterback that's got a heck of a lineage and has actually played
has feet, has
major
an arm.
major college football. So that raises that means that there's a factor there. Your 9 wins, my 10 wins, whatever. There's a lightning in the bottle sort of factor there where now it's in play that they could have a nice season like Indiana had and really everything goes right. And now all of a sudden you're kind of popping huge.
Yeah.
For that to happen, they're going to have to figure out what's going on with the defense, which, like we said last week, they're going to roll out there with freaking, what I call it, the 7-2-2, or the 2-2-7.
Oh yeah. The 2-2-7 defense.
Yeah. I mean, good luck with that. They got to figure out their edge and all that stuff and their line.
I'm down for a 1-1-9. I'm just saying
they might be there. We'll see. But
injuries, come on now.
At the very least, as we wait through this long off season, there are some things to be excited about, and so there we go.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Mike. So I think the only thing we have left to do is do a couple calls and then what's Bruin. So first, it's been a couple months now, but a couple months ago, our good friend Carrie called in, and at the end of her call, she was frightened by something, and it led to this drop.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And I now since have put it into the outro drops for the show. And
oh my God.
At the time, I'd asked Carrie to call in and tell us what the hell happened to her. And then she did call, and then I was so off my game, and we were busy and whatever. And
been a hell of a year, Jake.
Took me forever to get around to actually getting to her explanation. So now we'll finally get the explanation for our drop from Carrie. Oh my God, which I love so much. It was in the middle of a call, and she's like,
"Oh my God."
So here's what Carrie had to say about her experience.
Hey, what's Bruin Show? It's Carrie. Thanks for your podcast. Yeah, to explain my message from last week when I said, oh my God, it had to do with my Chad Atticus. Quick digression about Atticus. He's now about 22 pounds, with big black fluffy. He's got a really roly-poly belly. Still extremely agile, but I think he may have been raised by raccoons. And I say this because I inherited him from my neighbors who just left him, and apparently he wasn't allowed inside. He was a kitten, and they feed him outside. Just put a big bowl of food out there and leave it there. And in my neighborhood, that probably means that raccoons are coming around. I noticed that he sometimes would walk like a raccoon, and since then, since I've had him, I've come across him with a group of raccoons acting in raccoon ways, and raccoons don't seem to bother him, or they don't seem like they're necessarily enemies for him. So anyway, I digress. He's basically, part feral. So when I have a cat door for him, and during my phone call, he brought me a present, which was a mouse. And so I have a procedure for when that happens, and that is to immediately catch it before it winds up underneath some piece of furniture, and I don't know it's there until I smell it. So I like to put them outside as soon as possible. Anyway, that's what happened.
Okay, awesome. That was a great explanation of that, Carrie. I really appreciate you calling in and letting us know. And now we know it was an animal. And it's fun because
Oh my God.
I wish I still had a cat. My cats weren't raised by raccoons, which is a pretty cool feature that you have there, Carrie. But our cat was passed a few years ago because one of our little dogs, we got chased him out of the house so many times. He finally succumbed to the coyotes that we have in the neighborhood. But I loved having a cat.
Coyote.
And the different gifts that the cats had brought in for us over the years. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And by fun, I mean gross and disturbing sometimes. The best one was when we had, at one point, we had 2 cats, and it was at our old house in Reseda. And we went on vacation to Hawaii, I think. And when we came back from Hawaii, it was actually the trip, I think, that Megan learned to walk. Because right after that, we left. We moved, I think. Anyways, that doesn't really matter that much. But we came back from a long trip, like a week gone. We walk into our house, and the cats had dragged in a pigeon, a crow, and they did not know how to kill it at that point. So we walked into a crow that had been living in our house for about 4 days and shit all over everything.
Jeez.
And then we got the crow out of the house and then called animal control. And then by the time the animal control got there, the crow had already flown away and left, I guess. I guess he was okay. But I was like, thanks a lot for that, cats.
Good job, Dix.
So look what the cat dragged in. Yeah. And in Carrie's case, it was a mouse. And in my case, it was a crow.
Thought it was a raccoon.
Well, she saw raccoons out there, but then the actual, oh my God, was the cat dropping a mouse on her lap or whatever.
Oh my God.
Putting a mouse in her vicinity.
Freaking
And then she
mouse.
went to her system of disposing of the thing.
And now we can use the oh my God for whenever something good happens during a UCLA game.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Nice.
For sure. That's what we're gonna use it for. So thanks again, Carrie. I really appreciate it.
Oh my God.
Now, we do have another question, and that's from Mike from Santa Clarita, who called and actually asked us an off-season-y football podcast question because he loves us. He cares about the show way more than we do right now, I think.
Uh-huh.
But thanks, Mike.
Jerks.
Hey,
By
what's
jerks, I
Bruin
mean
Show? It's Mike from Santa Clarita. Calling in to, 1, make sure that this hotline stays open, and 2,
thanks, Mike.
yeah, we're kind of in the off-season doldrums, so here is a fun UCLA football question for y'all. How would you construct your perfect game day? Start of the game, say, is at 6 p.m., one of those late 7 p.m. games kind of stink, but let's do a late afternoon, so that 4:30 time slot. Sometimes they're a little bit later. Where would you go to tailgate? Would you grab a bite before the eat somewhere in Pasadena? What would you guys do? So want to hear your thoughts. How would What's Bruin Show hosts, whether covering a game or not, construct their perfect UCLA football game day? All right. Love to hear from you guys. Hang in there. Go Bruins. And football season is almost here. All right. Bye.
I mean, how else do you celebrate? Drugs, booze, and hookers. Jake, you.
Thanks, Mike. And then you walk into the Rose Bowl. Stumble into the
You
Rose Bowl.
walk into the Rose Bowl.
That's good. I had a guy that came back. I hadn't seen him in years, literally about 2.5 years. And he comes in to my place of work, and he's, number one, half naked and in a sad state, but he's still amiable. I said, and he's skinny as a rail. He definitely been through
Doing
the ringer.
rails.
I said, dude, what happened to you? He's like, yeah, meth and hallucinogens just didn't do me right. I said, yeah, you're right.
Oh, you think so?
So, but he's a good guy, but he's in a bad way. Mike, what's your perfect Rose Bowl Saturday?
Well, I haven't done one in a while because I do have I have my duties and protocols that I have to do before the games. There was one time I did have a beer before the game, but that was because the boss said, hey, let's go have a beer before the game. Other than that, but yeah, games where...
He said...
Mike Regalado.
Let's go to a beer.
Yeah. Yeah, we have an hour. But no, what I love to do, done this with many different friends, many different groups, is tailgate. Get there. I am not a 6 hour. I am not there when the gates open. That's just a bit much. I'll get there 2 or 3 hours before the game, tailgate properly, have a few beers, and then walk in. Funny thing, you know what would have helped with a lot of that is being able to purchase the beer inside, so that, you know, and we've seen a lot of dumb students do this where they just load up before, and especially in a mid hot day, you're just seeing kids yakking in the bathrooms in the first quarter. Yeah. So anyway, that would help me plan it out. Like maybe a beer or two beforehand, and then, you know, slowly buy a $20 beer, because I'm not going to chug that. I'm going to save it. Yeah. But just hanging out and barbecuing, listening to music. I just love hanging out at the Arroyo Seco during a tailgate. I've actually joined a few tailgates. People hit me up on the social media saying, "Hey, come over and have a beer or some food real quick," which I've indulged in. And but yeah, that's pretty fun. Just being out there on the Arroyo Seco, because there's no place like it, where you can just tailgate on grass. You have the San Gabriel's right there, especially on a beautiful day, October, even November, even December. The freaking Rose Bowl game itself is beautiful. That's what I love to do. How about you, Jake?
I notoriously do not like to tailgate. The entire time we've done the show.
That's right. You walk in 2 minutes after kickoff.
My whole point of going to watch UCLA football is to go to watch UCLA football. And so the less time I spend in the actual, like, you know, being around the game and all the, and I do enjoy the college football pageantry and stuff, but I have been a little, usually there's other stuff going on, and I'm leveraging the fact that we do the show and that, I got to be at the UCLA football game to give me like the absolute free space in life of, I shall go to that game, and nobody can talk shit to me if I don't. But the yin yang of that is, I can't say I'm going to the UCLA game for 12 hours. I guess I'm going to the UCLA game for like 4 hours. Yeah. And that's generally about how long it takes. So at least since we've been doing the show, I don't like to tailgate too much. And this is going to be a little bit longer.
And that is your perfect day, because that's what you want to do.
My perfect day is I show up in the parking lot 15 minutes before kickoff. I walk into the stadium as it's kicking off, and then the Bruins have won 52-7, and I'm leaving in the middle of the third quarter. Yeah. That's my perfect day. That's my perfect day at the Rose Bowl.
So you've had several perfect days at the Rose Bowl.
I've had several perfect days, and I've had the
even in the losses,
the semi-perfect day of Bruins got their ass kicked, but I'm still home before the game ends. Like,
right, there you go.
Beautiful too. That's a good system. Now, however, though, I will add this too. Since we've been doing the show, it's pretty much the window of time in which I've been an actual drinker and into cocktails and into just kind of chilling out or whatever. And it's also within the window of time where I have become a fairly confident cook, as far as like, making, smoking stuff and grilling stuff and doing all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I have some stuff in my bag at this point, right? And so I will tell you this, Mike.
And you would kill.
I'll tell you this. When I retire, when I don't have to worry about, going to work during the week, and when my kids are out of the house, I'm not worried about all that stuff, before softball games and football games, all these other things.
Dad, can I have some money to go to the mall?
All this stuff.
Can I get a ride?
Time. But I do see a world in which I'm retired now, and I have a portable grill, and I have, stuff to make cocktails with. I could see myself going to the Rose Bowl and spending the day out there, getting TV and doing the traditional tailgate and just cooking all day, relaxing on the golf course and living that life. So I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying, up until this point, I want nothing to do with the goddamn tailgate. Yeah. But my perfect one would be this. Mike was talking about it's starting late but not too late. Mm. I think I agree with that. But I'd be fine with a 12 o'clock one. No, I think you're right. I think like a 4:30 kickoff. I get out there around 11 or 12, maybe 10, 11, smoke up a nice tri-tip or some chicken or something.
Or a doobie.
Not one of those.
Sorry, no.
But Mike can bring one for himself.
I got to work.
And I have my whole cocktail bar going. And then I could see being like gracious. People walk by, hey, whatever.
Yeah.
Share the wealth. And having people with us, and then going to the game and then watching it and then, hopefully being able to, drive home confidently. But yeah, I could see that. So I think that would be my aspirational perfect tailgate game.
Nice.
Good call, Mike. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. All right, good. Are we done?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
What's brewing with you? You ask me. What's brewing with me? Yeah. What's brewing with you? What's brewing with me? What's brewing with you?
Mikey?
Uh-huh.
What's brewing with you?
Not much. Just doing a lot of chores this weekend. everyone's talking about Andor, and
I haven't started yet.
Yeah, you haven't started the season or the series?
The season.
Yeah, I'm 2 episodes into the series, so I really got to catch up. As well as everybody's talking about The Last of Us. Apparently, those have been some killer episodes as of late. And
yeah,
I
the
gotta catch up
Godfather
to
texts
that.
about The Last of Us.
Which that was random. I'm like, dude, you're talking. We didn't even know you were into zombies, let alone zombies storylines that were based off a video game. Which, if you ever played the video game, my God, like I couldn't play it at night. Sometimes I had to put it down and go, no,
Like one of
I
those
can't
Silent
do
Hill,
this crap. No, yeah, I was like,
Resident
can't
Evil.
do this crap. I mean,
Molly will not watch the show because she likes the video game, and she is so pissed about the casting of the girl in the show that she's like, I'm not watching this.
oh,
show.
really? Yeah, I guess I can see that. But yeah, no, the story's great, which is why I want to see the show. But yeah, lately I've been hung up on both, and this is just it's mostly just kind of like brain dead stuff when I get home and I'm just like, I just want to watch something. I don't want to invest in something. I just want something there. So I've been watching a lot of Rick and Morty and Workaholics, and those
Nice.
are 2 shows that I've seen, but never really invested a lot in.
I
And
should watch Rick and Morty because it's made by the guy who did Community, which is
Yeah.
one of my favorite shows of all time. But I never watched Rick and Morty.
You've
because
never seen Rick and Morty?
I've seen the little bits of it, but
Okay,
I'm like, I
okay.
was not into it because like every teenage boy when it came out was like, oh, Rick and Morty. And I was like, and I was teaching in the class and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna do
the storylines are nuts.
Yeah, I
like
know.
they're
As the
and
Community was nuts. Yeah,
That was another one.
but I
where-
should watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was another. Like, I don't get nightmares. Like, I rarely get nightmares. The first time I tried to binge watch Rick and Morty, I had nightmares that night. I'm like, what the?
That's funny.
I'm away from this. But yeah, just an insanely well written show, despite how bizarre it is. But yeah, I got to work on those 2. But anyway, one thing that and I bring this up because I've been stealing my sister's Netflix, which, whatever, that's fine. We share, different subscriptions and all that. But yeah, I got Netflix on my own. Why, Jake? What am I holding in my hand?
A new phone, iPhone.
Brand new
Mike just got it.
GD iPhone 16 Pro. One, because my old phone it was dying. I had to get this, so this was like a necessary purchase. But God, the camera's going to be awesome. I'm going to be taking some awesome pictures
very fun.
come football season. But on top of that, it came with a subscription to Netflix. But even better, it came with a free 1-year subscription to AAA.
Well, there you go.
That's insane. I was like, boom, on it. And then, yeah, this thing is just freaking magnificent. I haven't fully explored the phone itself, especially the AI functions, but I've checked out a few things here and there. This thing is freaking amazing. It's pretty awesome.
It's a pretty fun phone.
But I love the editing features on it, and yeah, it's already just kind of like blowing my mind with the crap that I can do with it. But yeah, so I was basically on my phone. Oh, who knew? But more than normal to try to figure out how this phone works and how I can get the best usage out of it, especially with photography. Which the zoom on this is nuts. It's
rad.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's super totally cool.
Yeah, you've had a 16 for a while though, right?
Yeah, I got it when it came out.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
It's part
yeah,
of the
so you
cycle
don't-
of I do one every 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, yeah, mine was almost dead. It was 5 years that I've had that one. Yeah, I need it.
Long enough to.
Anyway, Jake, what's the matter with you?
I went to go see a movie in the theater for the first time in a while. It's
Uh-huh.
been like the last movie I went to.
No spoilers. I know what you're going to talk
I'm not going
about.
to tell you any spoilers. I'm going to give a nice talk about it though.
Because I'm going to see about it on
A
Thursday. I'm
non-spoiler
going to
talk.
see it on Thursday.
Okay. Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
You should. Anywho, the last movie I went to go see was with Bill. We went to go see half of the
Oh, that's right.
goddamn the
Deadpool 3,
Deadpool
right?
3.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of it, some little asshole kids decided to smoke in the bathroom and cause a fire alarm. And then we lost our we didn't watch the movie again.
Yeah.
Before that, I ended the movie in probably a year or 2. I love going to the movies. So after an almost 2-3 year absence from movie theaters, shockingly to me, I went and saw Sinners last week.
Mm-hmm.
And it, seriously, probably one of the favorite movies I've seen in the theater in the last couple decades. I really, really liked it. My favorite directors, are Tarantino, Wes Anderson, and
Anderson has another movie coming out soon.
Oh, I can't wait. I saw the.
Yeah.
But this one falls right into kind of like a Tarantino-y sort of vibe on this, and really, to me, this is a straight up better version / remake, much better version of From Dusk Till Dawn, which is a movie that Robert Rodriguez directed, that Tarantino wrote at least part of, from 1996, with Clooney and Tarantino starring in it.
And that was kind of campy. It was kind of made to be a little
Totally
bit campy.
It was like 2 movies in one. The first half was a bank heist. The second half was a
survival
vampire survival horror genre thing. And it was goofy. It was campy. You know, there's some great cameos in it, but it wasn't a great movie. It was fun to watch. It wasn't a great movie.
Yeah,
Sinners is a very similar movie in that it's definitely got like a first half and a second half sort of thing. Although the mystical goes all the way through it, but it's first half, second half. And the only spoiler I'll give is, I think everybody knows, it's about vampires.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only thing I'm going to say about the actual plot of the movie. But you take in the count of just the actual movie that it is, and this is coming from director Ryan Coogler. He did Creed, which I thought was a great movie. He did Wakanda Forever, which I thought was a pretty good movie. This is the best movie I've seen this guy direct, and it was just absolutely wonderful. And it's number one because it's a whole movie. Like, even though it's 2 distinct parts, he really brings it together all the way through. Music is such an important part of this movie, and specifically the blues. And if you're a blues nut like I am, like it was absolutely fantastic.
Was it set in the 20s?
Set, Prohibition era.
Okay.
Jim Crow South.
Yeah. So like the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, but dark.
Yeah, but it's weird. Like, it's hard to say dark because it doesn't actually become about. I'm not going to name spoilers.
I heard
it's very, very good.
I heard there are a lot of
well
themes
executed.
that really.
There's a lot of themes. It's very cool, and everything about it's very cool. It's shot beautifully. The action are beautiful, except for the ones that aren't supposed to be beautiful. They're really ugly.
Nice.
The music is amazingly good, and it like, listen to the soundtrack the next day, and I didn't like the soundtrack as much listening to it. Just the soundtrack, but in the movie, it is so woven into it.
Nice.
And it's about as well executed as I've seen. So anyways, thoroughly enjoyable. And the only thing I will say to anybody going to watch it is make sure you stay till all the lights come up, because the way I described it to people is it's 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's a long movie.
Yeah.
So, so don't drink a whole lot while you're in this one.
Yeah.
But the first hour and 45 feel like about 45 minutes. Then the next 10 minutes feels like about 25 minutes. And then the last like 3 minutes feels like a flash, right? So, I mean, it's like it kind of winds down at the end a little bit to wrap everything up, but then it wraps up even more. So just make sure you stay till the end of the show. But very good. Michael B. Jordan, bunch of great performances. Miles Canton was, he's got like one R&B single out there, but he was like the blues master in this freaking thing. Great cameos in this by one of my favorite one-off Nike commercial, Apple iPod commercial one-off songs, A List of Demands by Saul Williams, who's like a poet laureate or whatever, but he has one banging fucking song. He plays, he does a cameo in this. And then it's got a lot of fun cameos in it. And freaking Buddy Guy's in it as well.
Oh, nice.
It was super cool.
Yeah.
So just watch it. It's fun. And go see Sinners.
Nice. Yeah, Thursday. I'm going Thursday.
You're going to enjoy it. All right, very good. So, Mikey, we are not going to have a show next week.
No.
Unless you want to do something. But I think we should take it off.
I need a break to recoup, see what is, unless there's like a whole slew of news on Monday,
we might break,
then yeah,
we'll
take a break.
But don't plan on having a show next week.
Yeah,
and,
but we're coming back with a bang.
As you can tell from my energy level, it's probably a good thing. But yeah. On the slate for the week after that, we have a very special guest.
Yes, so that's going to be
maybe in studio.
Maybe, possibly.
That'll be fun.
Yes,
I'll look forward to it.
Yeah.
All right, good. So, Mike, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having.
Until next time, what do we say?
Go Bruins.
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Oh my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's got to be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, brah, we play some ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.